Welcome to today's deep dive. So interacting with current AI is kind of like managing this really brilliant intern who just gets total amnesia every time you close your browser tab.
Yeah, it is exactly like that.
Right. Like you have to re-explain who you are, what the project is, how you like things formatted, literally every single day.
It is exhausting.
It really
Okay.
does. So our mission today is to explore this 94-page developer guide from Nous Research on something called Hermes Agent. Basically, this is the blueprint for moving past those amnesic chatbots and upgrading to a persistent, self-improving AI workforce.
A digital worker that actually remembers your projects across weeks of continuous operation,
Yeah.
which is just huge.
Exactly. And the key shift here, well, it is that Hermes isn't actually a new language model, right?
Right. Yeah, it's an open source execution harness. So you can think of it as the scaffolding and the nervous system built around the AI.
Okay, so it's not the brain itself, it's the structure supporting it.
Exactly. And by running continuously on your own hardware or server, it just completely removes that bottleneck of session resets. It becomes persistent infrastructure.
Right, but memory is one thing. I mean, a persistent worker that just repeats its own mistakes is a massive liability.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you leave an AI running by itself, how does it actually learn without, eventually spiraling into hallucinations and writing broken code?
Well, that is where the autonomous DS-Pi and GP learning loop comes in.
Okay, break that down for us.
Sure. So DS-Pi is essentially a framework that lets the AI rewrite its own internal instructions based on what actually worked. Like when Hermes attempts a complex task, it tries multiple paths.
And it runs the code and checks for errors.
Right. And if a path fails, it just discards that approach. It's not just guessing the next time around.
So it takes the successful trajectory, like the exact chain of logic that actually passed the test, and
Yeah.
turns that into a permanent reasoning template.
Yes, exactly. It is actively pruning bad logic. Yeah, this self-evolution engine ensures the agent relies on proven, validated actions rather than just probable text generation, which is, what usually causes those wild hallucinations.
Okay, so it learns the task, but it also has to remember my personal quirks. I mean, a single text file isn't going to cut it for months of memory.
No, definitely not. The guide details a tool called Honcho to manage this. It basically splits memory across SQLite and vector databases.
Right, so think of SQLite as the agent's hard facts filing cabinet. It stores your exact API keys or explicit rules,
Yeah, and then the vector database acts a lot more like human associative memory.
meaning it retrieves the vibes, right, like the context from past chats.
Exactly. So if you ask it to draft a weekly report, the vector database surfaces the tone, the formatting, the recipients you preferred 3 weeks ago. And you don't even need to specify them again. It learns how you specifically need a task executed.
Which is incredible for daily workflows. And if you were deploying this right now, you aren't tethered to a browser window to make all this happen.
No, not at all. Hermes uses a unified messaging gateway connecting a single agent instance to platforms like Slack, Discord, or WhatsApp.
So I could be on my commute, send a quick mobile voice memo to my agent on WhatsApp, and Hermes just ingests that, transcribes it, and triggers a cron job.
Yep, an automated scheduled task running right in the background. While you are driving, the agent is independently running web searches or auditing massive data sets based on that one voice note.
And crucially, it executes all of that code inside isolated Docker sandboxes.
Right, which is so important for security.
Exactly. It means it's running these programs in a secure, locked-off bubble on your machine. If the AI writes a bad script, it crashes the bubble, not your actual computer.
Yeah, the paradigm shift here moves us entirely away from reactive prompt and response interfaces. This gives you full ownership of a proactive 247 infrastructure.
Escaping cloud lock-in completely.
Exactly. And that leads to a really profound capability outlined right at the end of the guide. You can actually export your agent's task histories as compressed shared GPT datasets.
Okay, wait. A shared GPT dataset is basically a standardized format of conversational logs that developers use to train new AI models, right?
Yes, exactly. And because your personal open source agent is running constantly through that DS-Pi loop, it is generating its own flawless verified training data from every single successful task.
Oh, wow. So you can use that exact data to fine-tune your very own proprietary model checkpoints.
You really can.
That is wild. If your once amnesiac intern eventually learns to write perfect training manuals for the next generation of digital workers, do you even need to rely on the big tech foundation models anymore? Just something to ponder next time you hit refresh on your browser tab.